two fights for me, which is debatable whether he won them or not, which he didn't win them, but he got the decision, which is all that matters. He's 38 years old. I wouldn't say that because it's in England and, you know, it's on his own show, so just do the best you can, that's it. Best you can. It hurt him before with a body shot, put him down heavily, so maybe he can land that same body shot, put him down again.
Tyson Fury has made a headline-grabbing prediction ahead of the highly anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, hinting that Dubois could very well shock the world this time around. Despite claiming he's unsure who will walk away victorious, Fury didn't hold back in praising Dubois' youth, strength, and ambition, suggesting that this version of the British heavyweight could be a real threat to the undefeated Ukrainian champion.
Well, whether he won them or not, which he didn't win them, but he got the decision, which is all that matters.
Spencer Oliver and Simon Jordan have both added their voices to the growing buzz around the upcoming heavyweight rematch between Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk, each offering a distinct perspective on what they expect to see when the two meet again. Spencer Oliver, a former European champion and well-respected analyst, has been especially vocal in his belief that Daniel Dubois is a completely transformed fighter since their first meeting in 2023.
I know Daniel Dubois. I see him work from day to day. I know what they're working on tactically. Go back to 2023 when Dubois lost to Oleksandr Usyk, and you say, all right, yeah, look, they seem quite far apart there. He had his moments, Daniel, but Usyk was sort of leagues above him then. Oleksandr Usyk has not got better since then. There's a lot of miles on the clock since then. There's no sign of deterioration, but what I'm saying is Daniel Dubois is a different character, a different animal from then.
You're saying that Usyk has not got better since fighting Daniel Dubois?
Yeah,
even though he's dealt with Fury.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mean he's improved. I think the two fights.
It's got worse either, does it?
No. The two fights with Fury. I'm just doing this. It's a calculated gamble. I think the two fights with Fury.
Meanwhile, Fury acknowledged Usyk's experience, but highlighted an important factor: his age. Now 38 and fresh off two physically and emotionally draining fights with Fury himself, Usyk may not be entering this rematch in peak form. Though Fury noted that Usyk officially won both bouts, he left room for interpretation, subtly implying that they were far from clear-cut victories. With all things considered, Fury believes Usyk could be worn down, and that opens a major window for Dubois.
He's 38 years old. You know, if I was going to come back, I'd come back for Usyk, but I want a fair result in England.
When asked what advice he would give to Dubois before the fight, Fury initially leaned toward recommending a knockout strategy, but upon considering the fight's location on Dubois' home turf in England, he quickly softened his stance, suggesting that Daniel should simply give his best performance and trust in his strengths. He recalled how Dubois hurt Usyk in their first encounter with a crushing body shot that dropped the Ukrainian. To Fury, that moment proves that Dubois is capable of doing serious damage if he lands clean again.
Okay, knock him out. Because I wouldn't say that because it's in England and, you know, it's on his own show, so just do the best you can, that's it. Best you can. It hurt him before with a body shot, put him down heavily, so maybe he can land that same body shot, put him down again.
Frank Warren, head of Queensberry Promotions and Dubois' promoter, is standing firmly behind his fighter. Warren believes Dubois has what it takes to knock out Usyk and become the undisputed heavyweight champion. He acknowledged that landing clean on Usyk won't be easy, but if Dubois can make it happen, the outcome could be decisive.
4 fights, including the last Usyk fight, he's capable of hurting Usyk, and the 3 fights after that, 3 really good quality fighters, done what he's had to do, and now he's in with the boss man of the heavyweight division. So he's in a good place. He's 27 years of age, 27 years of age. This is a big moment in time for him to create history.
He's 27 and Usyk is 38 now. Lennox Lewis had retired by this time. Is the timing lining up? Could Usyk get old overnight? That's something that Daniel Dubois talked about.
Things like that can happen, but you know, there's not a lot of miles on the clock with Usyk, in my opinion. Having said that, you know, Daniel...
Even if Dubois doesn't score a knockout, Warren feels confident that his fighter can outbox Usyk over the course of 12 rounds. For Warren, it's not about predictions or hype. It's about trusting the preparation and progress of a fighter who is coming into his own at exactly the right time.
Daniel's doing. I know that he is training in Spain, working his balls off in there, because this is a big moment in time for him. And he's not coming here to roll over. He's not coming here for a payday. He's coming here to win. So we've got a great fight.
Do you believe Daniel Dubois knocks him out?
Yep. If he catches him, he'll go. And if he doesn't, I think he can outbox it. But whatever can happen, I've got no say in it. Nobody's got any say in it. It's down to these two guys. When that bell rings, the best will be the best.
David Haye, another former world champion, has shared his perspective on the rematch and also sees a potential upset in the making. According to Haye, the timing might be perfect for Dubois. The fight is happening on British soil, the crowd will be behind him, and the energy will be in his favor. While he still acknowledges Usyk's brilliance and the fact that he remains unbeaten, Haye points out that this version of Dubois is carrying serious momentum. He believes Usyk may not be as sharp as before, especially after going through grueling battles with Fury and other top-tier opponents.
Someone who's never lost, he doesn't know what it's like to lose. But I think if there's ever a chance for Dubois to beat someone like Usyk, it's now with the momentum he's got. You know, at home, he's got everything in his favour, and you know, Usyk has got nothing. He's got nothing to gain really because he's already beat. But he done the same thing with Tyson Fury and AJ. Gave them both rematches and done it better the second time round. So I'm really intrigued in this fight.
However, Haye also left room for the possibility that Usyk could once again rise to the occasion. He reflected on how Usyk has consistently shown an ability to adjust and elevate his game in rematches, as seen with his second victories over both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. If Usyk follows that pattern, then Dubois might face an even sharper, more focused opponent than the one who beat him 2 years ago. Still, Haye remains intrigued, believing that while Usyk is still elite, the miles on his body are beginning to show, and if that decline is real, Dubois could be ready to seize his moment.
And you know, everyone's going to be behind Daniel Dubois. You know, he's a great guy. Straight down the line, but he's fighting a wizard. He's fighting someone who doesn't know what it's like to lose, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Usyk victory, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Usyk starts showing signs of age. Hard training camps, all those amateur fights, world championships, amateur, the WSBs, he's done so much, so many rounds on the clock, so many miles on the clock. He's pristine, but there's a lot of miles on the clock.
Spencer Oliver, another respected voice in British boxing, made his prediction crystal clear. He's backing Dubois to win. Oliver believes the gap between the two fighters in 2023 was significant, but a lot has changed since then. Dubois has grown in confidence, refined his strategy, and strengthened his mental approach.
Oh, the two fights with Fury, I'm just doing this. It's a calculated gamble. I think the two fights with Fury would have put some miles on the clock with Usyk, and Daniel Dubois, since the Usyk loss, has improved dramatically. And I mean dramatically, not just physically, mentally as well. This is a different fight to the first one, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
In contrast, Oliver argues that Usyk hasn't shown much evolution in the ring since then. The Ukrainian might still be world class, but the two brutal contests with Fury could have taken something out of him. Oliver stressed that while there's no obvious sign of decline in Usyk, Dubois is simply no longer the same fighter who was outclassed in their first meeting. He's stronger, smarter, and more dangerous than ever.
I think the decline's it's a strong word. I'm saying that Daniel Dubois' improvement has been incredible. Like when you watch him day to day, strategically, Simon, what they're going through in the gym, the things that they're working on, you know, they're watching videos back and looking at the strengths and the weaknesses of Oleksandr Usyk. And you're right in what you're saying so many ways. Like, this guy's the best of the modern era. There's no doubt about that. But you look at what Daniel's working on, the game plan that they've got, and let me tell you, he's got a real shot in this fight. The kid has improved dramatically, but they've seen stuff that I like, and that's why I'm just going.
That view is echoed by boxing legend Frank Bruno, who also hopes to see Dubois come out victorious. While Bruno kept his comments more general, he emphasized how good it would be for British boxing if Dubois pulls off the win at Wembley. For Bruno, it's not just about one fighter's redemption, it's about injecting new life into the heavyweight division and giving UK fans a new star to rally behind. He said, "It's going to be a good fight, and I hope the best man wins. I hope Dubois wins the fight. It's good for British boxing." As the rematch draws closer, the narrative continues to build around the idea that Dubois is no longer a fighter chasing potential. He's now the man to beat. Between the confidence of his promoter, the belief of former champions, and the buzz among fans, there's a growing sense that something historic could happen on July 19th. All signs point to Dubois having improved dramatically since his first outing against Usyk, both physically and mentally, and that change could be enough to turn the tables.
He walks outside on the road, and what people are going to see. It was really about looking in the mirror and liking what was looking back at him. Dubois has found himself. He's a different fighter. He's a different animal now. Anyone who thinks that it's the same fight, they're wrong.
Dubois has taken huge strides since his first loss to Usyk in 2023. That fight ended in disappointment for the British fighter, but it lit a fire under him that hasn't gone out. He's since rebuilt himself with a series of impressive victories, taking down dangerous names like Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgovic, and Anthony Joshua. These wins have reshaped his reputation, showing not just his improved technical ability, but also a sharpened mental game. Dubois now enters this rematch not as an underdog with promise, but as a legitimate champion with something to prove.
I can't go against Usyk. I can't. Because the guy, his greatest strength is he always finds a way to win. Always. The amateurs, Olympic gold, cruiserweights, unified heavyweights, goes to London, fights a bigger guy, fights him twice, beats him. Then he goes and fights a bigger guy again, fights him twice, Fury beats him. I mean, the guy knows how to, finds a way to win. He's special, but he's getting older. I would have preferred, like I said, I have nothing but admiration for both. I have some maybe extra love towards Usyk.
But even with the momentum in Dubois' favor, nobody is writing off Oleksandr Usyk. The Ukrainian southpaw has built a career on outthinking, outworking, and outlasting his opponents. He's been to the top of the mountain more than once, and his technical ability remains among the best in the world. If anyone knows how to defuse a dangerous challenger, it's him. Usyk's footwork, timing, and ring IQ have made him a nightmare for everyone he's faced, and even if he's older now, those tools don't disappear overnight.
He knows himself now though, Jim.
Yeah.
So he knows how hard it is, how tough it is. I believe the first fight with him that he'd had enough. He'd had enough and he quit. So it is what it is. You can make as much of that or as little of it as you want. I think Daniel Dubois is now coming to a different stage in his career where he's understanding now of what needs to be done and what's at stake. I think he's shown that he can overcome difficult times in fights now. And I think the victory over Anthony Joshua is going to propel his confidence levels to an all-time high. So I think he's well in this fight. I think he's a super dangerous challenger. And he'll go into it with a lot of belief. But I believe that belief will get shrunk. As the rounds pass and as the shots start getting landed on him, the questions will be asked of him again. Oleksandr Usyk will be victorious.
Still, there's an undeniable feeling that the rematch is different. The stakes are higher, the fighters are changed, and the crowd will be electric. Wembley Stadium is set to be the stage for one of boxing's most unpredictable heavyweight rematches in recent memory. It's a battle between a tested warrior with nothing left to prove and a hungry contender with everything to gain. And with so many big names weighing in, expectations are sky high.
Can he shock the world in a word? Yes, he can, because Usyk's 30, is he 38?
38, I think, yeah.
So, I've been 38, it was 9 years ago, but I know how it feels. I retired at 36, I was nearly 37, I was a month away from my 37th birthday when I chinned Groves at Wembley in front of 80,000 fans and went on to become an International Boxing Hall of Famer. And that was 11 years ago. And it was hard for me, and I did the weight easy, really. I say easy because I'm not lying around in spacesuits trying to take weight off. I'm actually eating all week, and I'm doing it properly, professionally, like most of all the Hall of Famers, world champs. They do it correct. Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather. They don't struggle at weight. They get down to the weight. They do it properly. They get in the ring.
Tyson Fury's bold statement that Dubois might shock the world has only added fuel to the fire. Whether he genuinely believes it or is simply stirring the pot is up for debate, but the idea isn't far-fetched. Dubois has the tools, the team, and the timing. Now it's just a matter of execution. If he can pull it off, it won't just be a win, it will be a statement.
He keeps making this sign, and it happened when you faced off, you know, when you gave him the push.
Yeah.
That happened after he did this.
Yeah.
So that annoyed you a bit. Am I right? This 3-time undisputed is.
Yeah. We're staying in focus. We're not getting involved in all the games and all of that. We're staying focused and gonna do our job, and that's destroying him and taking all the belts.
Perhaps the most nuanced view came from Barry McGuigan, the former world champion and father of Shane McGuigan, who previously trained Dubois. Barry McGuigan spoke about Dubois' raw, undeniable punching power and physical presence. He described the Londoner as a modern-day heavyweight, huge, strong, and capable of ending any fight with a single shot.
I think he needs to be busier. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to jab more with Usyk, because Usyk takes your jab away and then he feints and makes you, and then you start to hesitate and you don't jab. He's got to ram that jab right down the middle of his chest, just a couple of inches below his chin. You're always going to hit something. Keep stabbing that out and then drop the right hand and left hooks. He's got to throw more punches, he's got to be more assertive, and he's got to be more aggressive.
However, McGuigan remains cautious in his prediction. While he does see Dubois as a much tougher challenge for Usyk this time around, he still leans towards the Ukrainian's experience, adaptability, and technical prowess. In McGuigan's eyes, Usyk has the tools to avoid getting caught clean. He warned that although Dubois can knock anyone out, Usyk is too smart to allow himself to be hit that way. Still, he acknowledged that if the younger man does land cleanly, the fight could be over in an instant.
Listen, if Daniel hits you right, he'll knock anybody out. And that's absolutely the case. He is ferociously dangerous. He's a tremendous puncher. So have you absolutely no doubt about that. But the thing is hitting Usyk. Usyk is like he's like a bag of tricks. You couldn't hit him with a handful of stones. His head's moving, he's southpaw. So I think it'll be a much closer fight this time, and Usyk might have to visit the canvas again. Also, Daniel has to hit the body this time and really work on it and go for it and employ a lot of effort into body work and then switch to the head. So I think it's a great fight.
McGuigan also touched on the psychological warfare and pressure of the fight. Dubois, now with more experience and maturity, will aim to test Usyk's body and stamina. The friction between Dubois' aggression and Usyk's composure is expected to make this bout electric from the first bell. McGuigan said he wouldn't be surprised if Dubois pulls off the upset, even though he's backing Usyk to win on points.
Still, you'd have to give Usyk the edge because he's so experienced, he's so he's such an all-round great fighter, he won the last one, and I think it'll be a different fight. I think Dubois will push him much harder, but again, you'd still have to give Usyk the edge.
The countdown to July 19th has begun, and the boxing world is watching. Whether Daniel Dubois completes his redemption story or Oleksandr Usyk once again proves why he's one of the greats, one thing is certain: the heavyweight division is alive and anything can happen. Will Dubois rise or will Usyk reign again? The heavyweight rematch is almost here. Subscribe now and get ready for July 19th. This is one fight you won't want to miss.